Peace, well, how you doing? It's your brother Mikey Fever. Welcome to another episode of NYP Talk Show. We got the gardener building, Alem Bey, who has a great show for us with great information about semen retention. Before we get into that, let's hit the commercial real quick. Let me see. And we should go. Oh, pardon technical difficulties. Technical on our end, you know what I'm saying? So pardon about that, you know what I'm saying? I apologize for that. You know what I'm saying? Can you hear me, Alem?
Oh, yeah, I got you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you, God. I'm just making sure we have a slight little technical difficulties. Waiting for others to join the chat. You know what I'm saying? This is a great show we got. More science, the science of semen retention. And, you know, with this topic right here is a great topic because it's about discipline, perseverance, and achieving a higher goal within self. So, Alem, I'm going to let you take the floor, brother, before I ask the questions.
Okay. Well, someone who practices Taoism, someone who practices Qigong, Nigong, Weigong, someone who practices Tai Chi. These are some of the systems in which that you can learn about the science of semen retention. There's a good book called Taoist Sexology by Stephen Chang.
Yep.
Another one, you can get probably any book by Mantak Chia, and he'll talk about it. As well as also my grandmaster's book, which I recommend everyone to get, is Jewel in the Lotus by Grandmaster Sanyata Saraswati.
All right.
That book alone have exercises in there. In fact, before I became his student in 2005, I told him I walked around with that book since the early 90s, with that book in my pocket like it was the Bible. And me and him both started laughing. And I wasn't joking.
Space right there. So that's science right there, because
right.
I'm curious to know more about it. I have heard it. I know many other spiritual practices exercise that practice right there, that science of semen retention.
Right.
So in the aspect of energy and vitality, how does semen retention affect overall spiritual energy levels?
Well, there's two methods. You have the yogi method, okay, and you have the Taoist method. The yogi method is simply raising the energy up, kundalini shakti energy up through the chakras and allowing for that energy to permeate at the crown chakra area. Okay.
Got you.
And at that time, pulling up your perineum and not ejaculating. Okay. While the Taoist method is different. The Taoist method is that you circulate the energy in what is called a microcosmic orbit, or what is also referred to as a macrocosmic orbit. So there's two ways of doing it in that way too. So I'll break down the microcosmic orbit first. All right, let me put these glasses on.
Gotta get the vision.
right, because I'm getting ready to navigate.
All right, I got you.
But, so one is that you circulate the energy and absorb the energy at your navel area, or as they would say, about an inch or so down from your navel chakra. You absorb the energy into what is called your lower dantian.
Got you.
Now, once the energy is there, what you want to do is now circulate the energy down to your perineum, which is an area or indenture that is between the male's legs, between his anus and his scrotum sac. There's like a little indenture that is there. That is called the perineum. You'll circulate that energy there and you will inhale. And as you inhale, you'll bring the energy up to, well, up the back to the crown chakra, down to the third eye, and then exhale as the energy comes down back to the perineum. Now, that is what is called your governing vessel and your conceptual or functional vessel.
Mm-hmm.
Your tongue is the area in which that helps connect that circuit. So your tongue has to be up at
On
the
roof
of your mouth behind your two front teeth. Okay. In order for that to connect, for that conceptual or functional and governing vessel to make sure that the energy is going through the body properly. If it is not, then you have cut off the circuit. Okay.
Got that.
So it has to be connected. And that's the way to do it is with that tongue. Right there at that area behind the two front teeth. Right at the top. Right there. Okay. So once that is done, you'll circulate the energy in a group of 9. So it can be 9, it can be 18, it can be 27, it can be, whatever the case is, 36, as long as it's in, with the number 9, and you'll circulate that energy. Now, upon circulating that energy, what will happen is that you will absorb the energy within yourself, which is necessary in order to rejuvenate. Okay? That's the point. Because what you're moving is Shakti energy through the body, which is that magnetic energy. Okay? It's magnetic energy. Shakti is the magnetic energy, and the kundalini is the electric energy. So it's called kundalini Shakti or electromagnetic energy.
Got you. That's deep right there. That's something to take in and break down and study. All right. So can semen retention help slow down physical aging from a spiritual perspective?
And that's the point of retaining the energy, circulating the energy. Now, when you circulate the energy, you can then ejaculate if you choose to, because you have absorbed enough energy of that kundalini Shakti energy inside your body. All right. Now, in the yogi methods, they don't ejaculate.
They don't.
Right.
Why is that?
Because that's the method in which that it was taught within their particular sect or culture.
Got you.
Okay.
So is it safe to say that's like some kind of don't want to sound too spooky, it's like some kind of sex magic right there?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Because sex magic, you would have to make sure that you and the sister or vice versa, or whatever the case is, will have to have the same mentality, the same mental, the same wish or drive or something that you want to bring about that's a miracle or whatever the case is in the sexual act. And upon orgasm, hopefully for both of you, it will come into fruition because the orgasm symbolizes the Big Bang.
I heard of that.
You was taught in school about the Big Bang. You was taught that the universe was formed
In
due
the
to the
Big
Big
Bang.
Bang. Well, the orgasm symbolizes the Big Bang. All right.
Mm,
So you will bring whatever you want that was here in this womb, you'll bring it down into this womb, the lower dantian, to be excreted by way of the prostate gland within the male and, and what we call the Bartholian glands of the woman,
mm,
right? Which is connected to the ovaries and in particular the clitoris or also referred to as the they got different names, the G spot as they refer to it as, so all of that is connected.
That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's deep right there, man. It's a lot of science behind it. People don't understand it. They just think it's just the physical pleasure aspect of it, but not knowing it's a science within itself.
Right, no doubt about it.
So for like the mind and consciousness of it, right? Being that
Right.
we get into the nitty gritty of it. How does semen retention sharpen mental clarity and focus?
Well, what happens is that when you raise the Kundalini Shakti energy up, it is due to your intentions. All right. So that's why anything that you go into, any healing system or method, technique that you go into, you have to have set your intentions. And in this particular intention, you want to state that you will have clarity. You will not have brain fog. You will have the ability in order to see through all things. Your third eye will be sharpened. It will be open, activated, whatever the case is. And you can bring the energy up and center it right here at the third eye area. All
Mm,
right. And leave it there as you inhale. So you bring it up, inhale, hold it here, and then exhale.
got you. So
And
with
send
that,
it back down to the perineum and start over again.
wow. So with that the science, basically the science of sexual semen retention, right? Being that those are the benefits of it, can that also break addiction with an individual?
Yes, definitely can. You can use symbols if you choose to. For example, the Reiki symbol, Seiheki, is used
Hmm.
in order to dissipate a person's negative habits or bad habits. Seiheki is the emotional or mental symbol. So you can actually say hey key or during the sexual act and
Mm,
break addictions and break bad habits.
wow, that's powerful right there, man.
Because when you channeling energy, we talk about Reiki, which is chi, which is
Hmm.
prana, which is ki, kahuna mana, Holy Spirit. All of these are just various names. Varel. Um, we go on and on with the various names.
Mm, that's deep. All right, got you, man. That's something I'm gonna look into the books that you mentioned earlier as well. You know, it's and in the context of mysticism and occult powers, right? Can semen retention increase personal magnetism and charisma?
Yes, that's actually what it does. Um, if you was able to do a breathing technique called pranic breathing while engaging in the sexual act, you would do it 6 3 6 3s. Breathe in for 6, hold it for 3, breathe out for 6, hold it for 3. Or you can
Mm,
breathe in for 7 seconds, hold it for 1 second, breathe out for 7 seconds, hold it for 1 second.
mm,
Or you can do what is called empty retention. Just simply breathe in, hold it for 1 second, breathe out, hold it for 1 second. Either one of the three in which that you choose to do during the sexual act, it expands your auric field from 3 feet to more than 15 feet around you. And then if you are engaging, you have another partner, you're talking about more than 30 feet of expansion as
Really?
compared to 3 feet of the normal expansion, or 6 feet during the sexual act. So you've have magnetized yourself as well as the person in which that you're engaging with the sexual act with, and y'all now have a field which is large enough, and that's part of the manifestation and the law of attraction, to bring that which that you want into fruition. So your field is larger than the average person who just having monkey sex, as we call it, you know, or beast sex, oh, I'm gonna hit them skins, pow, 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 bang,
Yeah.
bang, bang, like my man,
Oh, pops.
pops,
Yeah.
pops, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
definitely.
Right, bang, bang, bang. That's how that's what we learned from watching the porno flicks.
Exactly.
This is beyond porno flicks. This is the science of healing with the sexual act.
I'm glad you said that
And
because the average mind within the West, right, cannot. You see, what I notice, even like with we got some people try to monkey around in the comment section, right? Those are the individuals that are so stuck in the Western way of thinking. Like they cannot think outside the box. It has to be it has to be tangible for them to grasp the concept and to understand. But yet they don't
right,
question themselves every day. Like, why is you know how is that my breathing, my my respiratory system is working on its own. I don't have control over it. You get what I'm saying? So it's like a lot of
right, right,
hypocrisy when people don't know how to
right.
broaden
Well,
their horizon. So something like this is needed. Go ahead.
they have the voluntary and involuntary um nervous system.
Yeah.
And we talking about the involuntary,
Hmm.
the heart beats on its own. Yes, but you
Exactly.
can control the heartbeat. Um,
Hmm.
you know, the eye blinks, you can control that if you choose to.
Exactly.
Everything in which that you want, you can actually choose to control, at least
Hmm.
for a certain period of time, for a certain amount. You don't want to breathe, you in the water, you hold your breath for about
Hold
a
your
minute,
breath.
or so,
Yeah.
you know, or more. So I mean, everything that you can do that's involuntary, you can make it voluntary at the same time.
Hmm.
So we have to look at this also. This isn't a game. You breathe 25,928 times in a 24-hour period.
Hmm.
The average person breathes 15 to 18 breaths a minute. That's the beast breath. Six
Yeah.
plus six plus six is 18. So you are a beast. So you can't possibly comprehend, because you at a interpersonal conscious level. You can't comprehend somebody who's at a magnetic conscious level or an infinite conscious level. You know,
Exactly.
So let's look at that. Within the teachings of the 5%ers, we are taught that you got five, you got five stages of consciousness. I added two to it to make it seven to correlate with the chakra system. So you got 18 breaths a minute, which is interpersonal consciousness. Then you cut that to 9 breaths a minute to what is known as intrapersonal consciousness. Then you cut that to 7.5 breaths a minute to
Hmm.
life consciousness. Then you break that down to 6 breaths a minute to subconsciousness. Then you break that down further to 4.5 breaths a minute to super consciousness. Then you break that
Hmm.
down further to 3 breaths a minute, all right, which is known as magnetic consciousness. And if you want to meet God face to face, which is your higher self, not something that's spooky, you know, you
Hmm.
do 1 breath a minute and you break that down, like I said, to 1 breath a minute. Breathe in for 30 seconds, breathe out for 30 seconds. That's 1 breath a minute. And that is infinite consciousness. That's
Gotcha.
infinite consciousness. So you can meet your higher self. So you think this is a game, keep laughing, keep joking, saying stupid comments or whatever the case is. It's because you have no understanding, no comprehension. You
Mm-hmm.
know, you think you're just going through life. I tell you what, when the crackers start putting shit on your ass like they did with this COVID shit 5 years ago, your asses wasn't laughing then. Y'all was some scary y'all was some scary, y'all was scary.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Y'all was
Singing
scary.
John Lennon,
Now they get ready
all the
and they getting ready to
people.
do this thing. They getting ready to do this thing again, you know, here real soon. And you once again you're gonna be some scary Negroes, not saying nothing, but allowing for somebody to perpetrate the same thing that they did before on you,
Mm-hmm.
forcing you to stay within interpersonal consciousness and not go any higher. So I
Talk about
understand.
it.
I
Nah,
don't
I
know
got
why you
that.
watching this show though, if you think that this is a joke, because what they teach on this program and this show here is something that's higher than
The
interpersonal
average.
consciousness. Right.
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. Because I don't give these individuals, these trolls whatsoever, that light on this show, because it's easy to have that vigor behind a device, but not in person. So
Right.
you gotta ignore them. So with that being said, I have another question for you, right? Does it, and as far as like the spiritual discipline of semen retention and transformation, can it increase devotion and focus in prayer, on prayer, or anything?
You got about it. Because really who you praying to is your higher self.
Mm-hmm.
So semen retention give you the ability in order to draw the energy up through your seven chakras in your spinal column, circulate that energy back down the front channel of your chakras, back to the perineum. And every time you circulate that energy, what happens is that you magnetize more electromagnetic energy, which is called photonic energy, into your body.
Mm-hmm.
We call it prana or chi or key energy. All
Yeah.
right. The more that you have and the thoughts that you have, that becomes the prayer itself.
Mm-hmm.
Your intentions is the prayer. So, for example, I can give you the sun salutation of the yogi masters and tell you to do these particular sets or positions on a daily basis, several
Mm-hmm.
times a day. Do it in morning, noon, and afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Some would just see it as stretching. Others would see it as utilizing your breath control while doing the stretches. Um, so this is really what we are talking about here is going beyond um just the average person's mentality, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And when we talk about your chakras, we talking about what they refer to in chemistry. You learn this, they learned the same thing in chemistry. But I guess what? They're trying to get an A in chemistry, so it's no joke.
Yeah.
Because the
Exactly.
because the Pell Man is say, in order for you to pass this class,
Yeah. I understand where you're coming from, but
right, right,
let's get back to the gyms, because you're doing a great job, and as I said earlier, you are appreciated within this conscious community. You've been out here for 20 plus years doing your thing. So those that talk don't have the courage to go out there to do what you're doing. Those who
right.
ridicule and talk about NYP Talk Show don't have the courage to go out there and do what we're doing as well. Shout out to my brother Ron Brown. Because it's always easy for the guys that sit on the bench to talk, say, "Hey, you're a bum," this and that, blah blah, but never had time to play on the court.
Right, right.
So you gotta ignore that person. You know what I'm saying? And it's not my fault. I try not to be petty because I'm on a higher conscious. With my
So it's all
thinking,
right.
and how I
Sometimes you got
behave.
to come down in order to see,
Yeah, of
how the
course.
other half live.
Of course, and I would, and it's true. I would do that because it's not my fault that their mom sucked dicks in hell. But anyway, let's continue. But anyway, all right, all right. As far as we spoke about the spiritual discipline and transformation, we're still on that with semen retention, right? Does it help dissolve karmic patterns tied to lust or desire?
Yes, it can, based on the amount of rotations that you do. For example, if you ever was taught how to do what is known as the cobra breath technique,
What is
one
it?
breath.
Can you break that down, Cobra? I never heard that one.
I can't go all the way in on it, but it's a technique in which that you raise Kundalini Shakti, up towards the crown area, and you allow for the energy to go back down into the abode, which is known as the sacral bone area. That sacral bone area, the word sacral and sacred, is special because that is the sacred place of the Kundalini. So as it travels back down the spinal column, what it does, it gives you the ability in order to remove and bypass actually what's called the etheric threads, which normally the person would have to burn through what is called the etheric or ethereal threads or etheric thread. And that takes sometimes a long time to manifest and burn through. Sometimes it takes 20 years.
I'll drive unless you want to.
Okay. Now,
people, don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, people. Peace to the chat. Peace to Nicholas Bey. Peace to brother Ron in the building. Salute to everyone else. And we here with the good doctor, Alem Bey.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Nah, you're good. You're good. You're good.
Now I'm changing spaces.
You gotta do what you gotta do, man.
Okay. All right.
I forgot where we at, but we could go to another question. As far as relationship and attraction, right? Does semen retention enhance masculine energy that women subconsciously sense?
Yes, it does. Because what they sense is the magnetism. They're sensing the charisma of the individual. Like for example, how is it that you have these stars, these so-called stars, whether within the realm of hip hop?
You see my phone?
No. Within the realm of hip hop, or within R&B, or any realm in which that, quote unquote, you have groupies.
Yeah.
What is it in which that the women are picking up from the males, and vice versa? Is it just because they're being promoted, on the television or radio or whatever the case is, social media?
Or is it that they selling?
Right. Or is it something in which that they really have? For those in which they get played out quick, they didn't have it. But for those in which that, can do it from childhood all up into their adulthood, like for example, Michael Jackson. He's the greatest entertainer of all times because number one, he was 9 years old all the way up into
50,
into his 50s.
Yeah.
So we talking about 40 years, over 40 years of performance. And we know that he had it. Regardless on if they called him Wacko Jacko or whatever the case is, we talking about that charisma. So, and of course, along with that charisma, they have gimmicks in which that goes along with it. I mean, Michael Jackson, he had a deep voice. He ain't talk
Yeah.
like, hey, well, you know, you know, that was for social media.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You get Mike alone, Mike was like, yeah, you know, that's what I'm talking about right there. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, definitely. So
Right.
you saying maybe he was practicing semen retention by being celibate? You know, that was something else.
Well, definitely is a practice within the realm of Hollyweird,
Mhm.
you know, is to practice um semen retention. And a lot of them learn some of this science, you know, being that they like to follow Aleister Crowley. Aleister Crowley learned it from, you know, allegedly Madame Blavatsky. Madame
Mhm.
Blavatsky got a lot of that information from the Rosicrucians, in particular um, from a Moor, as a matter of fact,
Mhm.
you know. So um, Beverly Pastor Randolph, or Pastel Beverly Randolph, you know.
Gotcha.
So it's a lot, and he taught within his information about the science of semen retention. So any, you know, the books um by him particularly, I will recommend.
Was it Beverly Randolph?
Right, Pastel Beverly Randolph.
Pastor Beverly Randolph. All right,
Mhm.
definitely gonna look into that. So, as far as in relationship and attraction, can it make relationships more soulful rather than lust driven?
Oh, actually, that's the discipline in which that you can practice within yourself. Now, the woman wouldn't follow that same method. She would absorb the energy into her lower dantian, but she would raise the energy up the front channel as she breathes in. And then as it reached the top of the crown of the head, then she would exhale down the back along the spinal column, back to the
Mm.
perineum, and then breathe in, inhale again to the top of the head, and then exhale back down to the perineum. So her energy would go in the opposite direction of the males, and that is basically what the yin and yang symbol represents.
With the dot in the middle, and the dot on
Right,
each side. Okay, I got.
right.
Oh, that's powerful right there.
The dot symbolizes the area of storage of the um, lower dantian energy, and then the circulating of that energy is the combination of the two.
Yo, you know what's so deep about that? And I would say this here, but it could be controversial, and I don't want to disrespect the craft, but even down to the symbol of it shows in certain areas like this. You got the 6 point star and
Right,
the square and the compass for those who understand. I'm not even gonna go into that, but it's pretty deep,
right.
man. Like the
Yeah, it is.
the
Because
unification of that
the six,
energy, like it's powerful,
right, the
man.
6 point star symbolizes, in a sense, the Vesica Pisces.
Yeah,
You know,
that's the term right there. Yeah.
and of course the G
Mhm.
symbolizes the genitalia.
Didn't tell you geometry and all that,
Right,
creating
right,
the
right,
building of
right.
Solomon's temple and all that. Once man and woman comes together,
Mm-hmm.
procreate life, which is that's also the product of the Big Bang in a literal
Exactly.
sense too. With the intentions of that. All right. Does it attract people of higher vibration into one's life?
Oh yeah, definitely. Once again, you set the intentions and the manifestation of that which that you want to bring into life, it will come into fruition. So that's why you have to be careful of the thoughts that you have during the sexual act, because you can bring some negative things into fruition or
In fact.
positive things. Is about the
Hmm.
law of attraction. So you have to think about, once again, setting the intentions, good intentions first.
Hmm.
You
Not
know,
just being lustful. Yeah, exactly. I remember my
right,
grandmother,
right,
may she rest
right.
in peace, used to tell me that. She used to be like, you gotta watch who you laying in bed with. exchanging energy. She always says sex stands for, spiritual exchange of energy. So you got to be careful of, of who you lay down with. And because she always say that person slept with that person, not let's say, but the amount of people they slept with, you don't know who that other person that they're interacting with has been sleeping with. And you bring in not only STDs but sexual transmitted demons as well. So I was always taught that. So does semen retention accelerate physical healing?
Yes, it can. As a matter of fact, what we found out is that one drop of semen is a concentration of 60 drops of blood. So that's what one drop of semen is. And within, according to Stephen Chang, he states that it's 2 New York quarter steaks, 6 eggs, 2 glasses of milk, 2 lemons. All of that is within the semen. The protein, the minerals, and the vitamins. So that's a lot of a lot. We talking about 2 glasses of milk. We talking about 2 New York porterhouse steaks, 6 eggs, 2 lemons.
That's a lot right there.
Yeah. Most people can't even eat that in a meal. But that's what's coming out of you. So instead of saying I'm coming, they need to be saying I'm going.
Yeah, it's energy. Yeah, you're basically you're dying every time. Part of you dies. Basically, a portion of life.
Right. And Francis Bacon / who we call William Shakespeare, said that within Hamlet that he died 1,000 times in her lap.
Metaphorically, yeah. Symbolically speaking, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he was wilding. All right. He died in her lap. He was sound like he was on his Diddy party stuff, but anyway.
The ain't show with the on baby oil, he was over.
We had a girl little joke in there, man. Can it strengthen the immune system from an energetic perspective?
Yeah, because the blood in which that goes into formation actually is from the spleen, which is in the abdominal area, as well as also from the bone marrow. So yes, in that regard, we talk about the immune system.
Oh wow!
Because the stomach itself, 70% of the immune system is within your stomach, is within your digestive system.
That's a fact.
And your spleen is part of that. The other 30% is in your thymus gland, which sits right above the heart.
Wow. Yeah, this is a dope show, and I'm loving it. We got to have a part 2. I know we said about other shows that you had, but we got to go deep into this because I believe, from what a little bit that I have read and what I'm hearing, that this science can do a lot.
Yes.
So, does it protect from succubus-like energies or spiritual parasites?
Yes, it does. In fact, once you've mastered it, you won't have these type of entities coming to you, because oftentimes they come to you when you have an out of control sexual nature.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll come, of course, in the disguise of male and female. You're a male coming as a female, or vice versa. Or if you have the homosexual tendencies, which in the kundalini is flowing in the wrong way or improper way, same thing. They can come. And so we're talking about trying to master these particular energies, and it comes through discipline, through meditation. It comes through the practice of yoga, come through the practice of qigong, Tai Chi, etc.
Mhm.
Working with energy modalities on a daily basis.
Got you. Got you, man. So, like, for instance, like, so there's a difference between celibacy and semen retention. Complete
Right,
difference, right? Got you.
right,
Just want
right. There's a big difference
all
because
right.
during celibacy, um, when you hear the Tibetan monks or yogi master talking about celibacy, they're not talking about it in the same way that the Westerners are referring to it as. Oh, I haven't had sex in 2 years.
Mhm.
Okay, but hold on,
Yeah, I'm about to ask. I'm about to ask this wild one
the
before
window.
I know you're on the road before we can wrap it up. Max is. Did he freeze up? I believe the doctor froze up. Well, in between this time, don't forget people to comment, like, share, subscribe. We got super chat, support the channel. Check out our website for merchandise, such as hoodies and mugs
Yeah, got
and
it.
all that good
Right
stuff.
reception, just in case.
Yeah, I know.
Uh huh.
I hear you. So this is the last question. So I know you're on the road. So we're gonna do this real quick, right? Uh, can semen retention boost one's ability to perform rituals with stronger intent? And I believe he may have cut out. Yeah. Yeah, the brother cut out, man. Apologies for that, man, because he's in the middle of traveling. I like to thank those who are in the chat. Shout outs to brother W. Bolton Bay, Nicholas Bay, Guru Wiz, and Bo. Thank you for coming out tonight. We lost communication with the brother. We got to get a part 2 to go because this was a great show, great science. I'm curious to learn more about this science of semen retention. The NYP family, we thank you all for being there for these 2 years with us. Our goal is to grow bigger and to grow into the studio and bring more fire content for you, more in-depth conversations. We're not here for the drama. We came here on our own merit with respect to all those who came before us, and we just doing the work to change the narrative about our people, to unite our people, whether you are in the continent of Africa, you in the diaspora, or here in the US, man. We all got one goal, is to liberate, to educate, take care of our own, and grow. So with that being said, don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe. Do tune in. Catch us again tomorrow, and we out. Peace.